Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, so I'm doing my pre-shuffle. I don't usually come on Sundays, and what I'm being led to do is an eclipse reading. So we've got another full lunar eclipse coming on May 15th to 16th. We just had April 30th, a partial solar eclipse. So what I've been instructed after meditating briefly before this to say is that when we have the solar eclipse, that is a cutting off of the light codes coming in, the life force energy coming into the planet. We feel it on an animalistic way before it happens. We feel it for months afterwards. This is a motion where it forces us to tap into our own empowerment and to individuate from external stimulus, external things, to tap into faith. So when we also are coming up to the lunar eclipse, that helps us bring up our own awareness of subconscious things. The moon represents subconscious energy. So when the light reflected to the earth is cut off from the sun, that subconscious, the nocturnal, those motions cause us to tune into our own balance regarding our subconscious drivers. So when we have a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse, we get this valving system, and it makes major changes in our lives because we step into independent thought, independent knowledge. So let's see what this particular succession of eclipses is going to bring in 2022. So what is it we can see for the unions, for the twins, for the dynamic? It's going to bring to light all of the misconceptions of the psychic interpretation. It's going to deepen the psychic abilities for the twins. The Queen of Cups in the reverse is the psychic flaws, the things that we think we have right, the hypervigilance, anything like that, places where unconditional love is not established. That's going to come into the forefront. So let's see emotionally how that's going to affect, because cups are the emotions. So how is that going to affect the divine feminines in 2022? Let spirit be your guide, not so much relying on your own ego or hypervigilance or what you think is right and wrong. You're going to have to release control, because I'm hearing divine feminines, your intuition, or what you thought was your intuition before, is going to lead you off course, and you're going to have to actually go to source for answers. You won't be able to be in arrogance like you think you know things. There's going to be this dropping into not needing to know, not thinking you have to figure it out, and also understanding that, yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to. So if you're getting what's coming through here, divine feminines, you've had survival mode going on, and that has caused you to rely on feminine intuition. The baggage of that is being removed. You're being ushered into safety so that you don't have to be hypervigilant, so you don't have to survive anymore. So things are softer, more hospitable, and available instantly through spirit guidance rather than your own power. And that's amazing. So divine masculines, what is the eclipse energy bringing in emotionally into your 3D lives this year? Slow and steady wins the race in the reverse. So you're no longer fearing that things have to be controlled, that they have to move slow and steady. There's a speeding up. It's going to cause you to be faster taking action, is what I'm getting. And not so cautious, not so wait and see kind of energy. There's a need to go a little bit faster coming in. I'm just getting another message for how that applies to this unconditional love. And yeah, you're giving yourself permission to do things on the fly without guilt and shame, without apologies. So that's going to allow you to be more brave, to take action quicker, because you won't be so afraid of screwing it up or causing a backlash, because you're going to be in tune with more of a present knowing of what is right and wrong, and that you don't have to be bound into things that you do spontaneously anymore. You're understanding, divine masculines, what warrants taking quicker action, the things that feel light and airy. Your gut instincts, your intuition is going to be more on point, I'm hearing. So you won't be making choices that your gut instincts warn you against anymore. And you'll be going more sure-footedly towards the things that actually feel appropriate, even if the world says that they don't, or that most people maybe would be fearful to do those kinds of adventurous or free-spirited things. You're going to be doing those without so much overthinking anymore. Life is too short, but you can trust yourself more, so you can take quicker action. And it's partly connected with the feminine polarity, not being so headstrong about intuition in a survival mode sense. There's more of an easygoing. So for the masculine, it speeds up. For the feminine, you drop the hard work. Okay, energetically, what can we see for the feminines? Advice to harness this. Temple of suspended endings, standstill, suspended animation, and holding space. So something about your intuition being wrong, being hypervigilant, needing to know, needing to have some sort of safety measure through information, that's being dropped. But it's going to look like things are paused. So anytime there's a pause coming up in your life, immediately default to asking for spirit guidance to show you, what is this pause? How can I move through it? What is the benefit of it? Fall back on that spirit guidance every time that you find yourself with a little too much time on your hands or frustrated that it's not moving more quickly. Because the irony is the divine masculines are beginning to speed up. So if there's a standstill, a pause, don't take it personally. Ask for divine understanding. And for divine masculines regarding this speeding up energy, what can we see for advice for you? Communication, contemplation, and higher mind, and seal of evolutionary colors, progressive awareness, and multi-directional change. So you're going to be going higher and being more present, divine masculines, through this contemplation and multi-directional change. So you're going to be doing some uncharacteristic changes because of your higher intuition. I'm getting for you, divine masculines, that this is a dropping into the inverse, the internal divine feminine, because I'm getting for divine, so much all at once, but divine feminines, this card in the reverse is bringing you down off your high horse, thinking you are in the know about everything, that you're the only one that's got it right. For divine masculines, this is a really loving thing, that you're getting this really sensitive internal sweetness in your own right. So I'm kind of getting this as calling out the divine feminines and validating the divine masculines all at the same time. And that's telling me that there's a shift in the dynamic, that there's a power hierarchy that's been silently playing out in the divine feminines, where some divine feminines, still being an ego, thought that they were ahead of the masculines in some way, and that that's being tempered out of the feminines. And divine masculines, where you felt like you haven't had enough wherewithal, you're now seeing that you really can trust yourself more than you thought, that you really can tap into and utilize your intuition, that you're getting more in stride with that. So there is a balancing out here. How interesting. So this is that year, and that is a unifying motion. If I'm honest, from what I'm feeling, I feel like there is a balancing of the playing field in a sense. Interesting. Right at 10 minutes, that was interesting to see 1 0 0 0, and then the counting from 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 10 10. Okay, let's get into the Divine Masculine reading though for today, post-eclipse. Let's see what has happened for the Divine Masculines. What can we see today? I'm almost thinking to see what is new. What is new on the mind space? What is new in the heart space? What are the new wishes after this first eclipse? What is the new action being taken? New considerations or challenges, new spirit guidance for that, and the new course of action coming up from the Divine Masculines since the eclipse yesterday. You know, for the last couple of weeks, I've been getting to tell everybody in personal sessions, don't do anything until after the eclipse. It's going to be all brand new. So let's see what this brand new energy is in every regard. Thank you, Divine Creator, for bringing through only the most beneficial messages. And let's get for the Divine Feminine something. We're watching every step of the way. What can we see for Divine Feminines? All right, Divine Masculines. So on the conscious mind, Prince of Wands and hanging on. So Divine Masculines, you have been hanging on and keeping things kind of in a cryogenic chamber, I just heard. See how this person's clinging and guarding the heart and focusing on Pentacles, material realm, and the Grim Reapers here are going to take that away, going to open your heart regardless. This is the eclipse energy coming in to blow things open. This is the passion. Knight of Wands is the sexual connection, sexual energy, player energy. There is a new deepening, a new kind of emerging, more long-term energy here, but it has to do with opening the heart so that it's not such a temporary mindset. This can play out with seeing through karmic partners, seeing through karmic paradigms of sexuality, because this is a sensual card. It has to do with opening the heart to more long-term energy, not such shallow, superficial, temporary kind of connections. There's a deepening. So the eclipse is taking away this focus, fixation on the material realm, on the 3D, and moving into a deeper, more energetically abundant template. Nice. And for the feminines, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. Wow, I just heard sexual healing. So there could be some sort of physical meeting coming up for the twins, so that there can be a new level of intimacy experienced with the Divine Masculines having more of an emotional awakening, more of an emotional availability, more emotional connection, deep cellular healing. So for both, this is incredibly powerful, but you, Divine Feminines, have been healing independently as well. And so it's a chicken and an egg. It works together. What you do for self, you do for other. And for twin, yeah. So on the heart space, what are we seeing? Prince of Wands and Knight of Wands. So interesting. I feel like this deck has two. I would say Prince of Wands and Knight of Wands. It could be Page of Wands, but I was reading it as the Knight of Wands. This card has two. Oh my gosh. And this sexual energy as well. So we're getting it on the heart space. I would say these cards are identical in this deck. There's a little bit more empowerment in this as far as the sensual connection, and this is so sexual. So on the heart space, Divine Masculines are definitely wanting to deepen the sexual, emotional connection with you, Divine Feminine, and explore, now that they are opening their heart space and becoming more emotionally available, they are definitely wanting to see what that feels like on a new level. And you're not for everyone, divine feminines. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. So we just got the thing about South Node. I'm getting this is your North Node now, divine feminine. But embrace your weirdness. This is hilarious because I was talking with a friend earlier about the definition of weird. The word weird has been a derogatory term in many sense. It has been something that 3D alignment points the finger, you're weird, like, ew, gross, you're weird. It's been derogatory. Weirdness is the metaphysical, supernatural stuff, the serendipity, the synchronicities, the metaphysical layer that we can interact with. Things come to mind like Disney princesses with all the forest animals rising up, or signs and opportunities, and like, you're so weird, like things just happen around you. You just manifest and tap in. Embrace your weirdness. You're not for everyone. And yes, you felt like maybe that was a reason why your connections haven't come in, but divine feminines, your divine masculine is starting to wake up to that, is starting to be drawn even sexually to your particular uniqueness. You are weird. It is time to embrace that. It's been lonely as you've been waiting for your counterpart to come online with your particular weirdness, but keep going. This is saying keep looking in the direction of your uniqueness, divine feminines, because your divine masculine won't find you in anyone else, and it's only a matter of time. Amazing. What is the divine masculine's wish at this time? Ooh, the sun with the Ace of Pentacles. Definitely this new beginning coming in. And full enlightenment, energetic understanding. This is such a twinny card. But there is a lot of understanding that this new beginning is coming. This can be starting in June for some because we have the sun there. It's also August. The sun card is a Leo card, so there's this anticipation for a new beginning that's coming. This is also another June reference. So May with the eclipses and going into June, we have this new beginning on the horizon that's emerging here. And there is anticipation, but there is still a learning curve. The eclipses, I'm feeling, are getting this divine masculine energy ready for this new physical connection. I'm getting that this is the twins physically together, but that the divine masculines are preparing, emotionally processing, meditating in anticipation for something to shift, and the eclipses are helping that happen. Trust the timing, divine feminines. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. So if you're not getting communication, if you have no indication that this is happening, it's not here in the physical yet. It is a slow moving energy, but trust it. Trust that it's the perfect timing for you. Only desire it to be coming through in perfect timing. What is the action the masculines are taking? Reunion energies and not talking about it. So literally there isn't communication about these reunion energies, but divine masculines are focused on this. How incredible. They are completely focused on this new kind of physical grounding, bringing it in, the passion that's growing, the heart opening that's happening, I'm hearing standing the test of time. They're really coming into the emotional connection here, the emotionality, the emotional balance, the emotional feeling, the ability to process. It's all happening under the surface, and I don't know if you can see this, but there are twins riding on this alicore and uniting in the 5D, but it's not being communicated. Also, this is one of the gnarliest cards of communication. It's kind of brutal. That's in the reverse. So the divine masculines want to take the edge out of the communication, the sharpness, the awkwardness, the cumbersome, the times they put their foot in their mouth, I just heard. They don't want that to happen again. And divine feminines, Activated earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. So you might be led to meet up with your divine masculine on sacred territory, I just heard. So until then, trust some sort of pilgrimage, some sort of travel, divine feminines, some kind of synchronistic. You might be bumping into your divine masculine when you least expect it, but regardless, wherever you're led to go on some sorts of adventure or physically go, walk with conscious meditation, walk with the intention of bringing unity consciousness to the earth. And also, Gaia wants to feed you back some energy at this time. I just, you know those tin cans with the wire between, and you can be across from someone in another house and talk through that? I just saw the ley lines of the earth being like that between the twins. So if you go to sacred places, divine feminines, think of your divine masculine there. Think of your divine masculine wherever they are in the world, and send that energetic pulse through Mama Gaia to them. And allow it to come back to you, even right where you are here. We are connected. Our feet touch the same ground. Our eyes look at the same stars. So divine feminines, just understand. Trust where you're led, but also wherever you are. Even energetically you're connected, but literally there are things that unify you. Sight unseen through Mama Gaia. Wow. Okay, divine masculine challenge at this time after the eclipse. Turning the storylines around and bringing this into the 3D. There's a lot of literal opening, heart opening, and allowing the connection to come into physical proximity here. So this eclipse season, this couple of eclipses are affecting, calibrating the last emotional hang-ups to come into physical connection more greatly. Interesting. And for the feminines about that, cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. This is interesting. So I'm hearing that this has been the final straw, the cracking open, the heart center. These eclipses have cracked your masculine open to desiring this in the physical, can't take the resistance any longer. But for you, you've also let go, divine feminine. You've cracked the code, cracked open this intense, stubborn energy of waiting and holding on to a specific attachment or expectation that has cracked open, and you just want to be, I heard this star stuff again. What is the advice for the masculines with bringing it into the 3D? Yeah, utilize your free will to meditate, be conscious, actually admit to yourself, divine masculine, that the love is here. Stop denying it, stop carpet sweeping, pushing it away, pretending it's not there. Decide to focus on it. If you are starting to come around, look at this is the Two of Cups. When the Five of Cups is in the reverse, the Two of Cups becomes the focus, and we have the Two of Cups here. So divine masculines, do tell yourself the stories of how this love can come into the 3D, how you can recognize it more consciously to yourself. This is the card of free will and consciously choosing. We get 5 and 5. That's a card of change. I'm seeing that this 2 plus 3 is also 5, so 5, 5, 5 for number sequence fans. But this is a lot of energy of changes and focusing on the love and telling ourselves a different story, divine masculines, because the love is now acceptable, it is valid. Divine feminines, force, don't follow. Forge, don't follow, sorry. Pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. Treat others the way you wish your divine masculine treated you. That's a really interesting one, divine feminine, because as you tap into what the solutions would have been regarding any of the times that you felt pushed away or rejected by your masculine, or where you haven't been receptive, utilize this out into the world, because that starts this bar being set. You can utilize this kindness where you haven't been given it. And time again on this journey, there's a temptation to think that the masculine hasn't given it to you, but it's just been to highlight that what it is that would be compassionate, that would be appropriate. And once that clicks in your heart, Divine Feminine, if you start treating others that way, that is what can come back to you, even with your Divine Masculine. And funnily enough, your Divine Masculine is the last frontier, is going to be the last person to follow suit, because that's the most intimate connection, intimate realm. So you gain testing ground by seeing what's needed, activating it into the world, and then even your Divine Masculine has to follow suit, because what you put out there is what you get back. Be the leader with what you wish you had. Golden rule. And this journey will show you more and more what your preference is and what the true need is. Stunning message. I'm not gonna lie, that's like very, very relevant on this journey. That's one of the most beautiful messages I've seen come through. When these messages come through, it means we're in the vicinity of it. So well done. And where are things going? Moving forward to twin flames, being together. Look at my extreme close-up happiness. Here we are. Look at taking on the world together. Stepping out of comfort zone, unifying. This is also that Mama Gaia energy coming together in sacred places, feeling the connection through having this knowledge that we're incarnate at the same time, but this moving forward. There's movement towards two of wands, two of flames, twin flames, together. Yin yang, balance. Woo. Okay, let's get a card for the Divine Masculines. After seeing this, oh yeah, we're getting this so much for them. Elemental magic, self-love, protection. Look at the geometry, that amethyst, faceted amethyst, really cool. But protection. So Divine Masculines, you are in protection right now. You are in a deep sort of inner processing through this eclipse season, so that you can see things in a whole new way, so that you can see that this love can be protected now. For many Divine Masculines, there have been karmic situations, legal situations, circumstances, emotional things, kids involved, all sorts of dramas that has not allowed for the masculines to come forward to the feminines. There's been real world things. It hasn't just been free will and instinct and all of that. There have been other things to consider. Divine Masculines, you're still being protected. You're still being ushered through those things. Everything is safe, but this is a kind of nudge saying you'll continue to be protected, that you can do a little bit more towards these connections than was once possible, as your faith, as your desire to genuinely go forward to these things, to bring in the sacred, the passion, the higher sensual, sexual, spiritual connection, as you prioritize that the safety follows you where you go in that regard. When these connections started, they were not seen to the depth that they needed to be by both counterparts. So Divine Masculines, things are speeding up because you're getting more of a sense of what is sacred, what is appropriate, and it's not so much cumbersome because it's otherworldly. You're seeing the profound otherworldly components to this, and that's its new kind of validation, so that you can be more confident to move forward when you need to in certain regard. Wow. Okay, and Divine Feminine, what can we see? Oh, a couple. Metatron again. Exaltation, brilliance, triumph, and victory. So Divine Feminine's victory is coming, and Temple of Eventual Destinies, enlightenment, spiritual progression, and benevolence. So when we're talking about the twin flame journey, we have eventual destiny and victory here. So keep believing in the unions, Divine Feminines. We're seeing a lot of union energy here, and the eclipses are bringing this into the physical. Beautiful. Many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.